but now restaurants are more into experiential dining. They're more into, the look and feel, the aesthetics. So what has changed over the past few years?
Restaurants basically in tier 2, tier 3 cities. So the expansion mode in India right now is great.
Picture this. You walk into a cafe, and before the menu's even in your hand, something's already shaping your mood. It's the chair you chose, the table's material, the light bouncing off a vintage stool. Today we decode how restaurant furniture does more than just seat us. Joining us is Chaitali Ahuja, the creative force behind Sunny Overseas. Her company's legacy stretches from global Michelin-starred venues to recovering city diners here in India. They have been at the forefront of furniture manufacturing and exports for decades. Today we'll explore where restaurant furniture is headed, what makes it stand out.
Chaitali, welcome to Design and Dialogues. Thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you so much.
So, as a young female entrepreneur, how did you come into this industry?
So basically all started in high school when I had to basically choose my career, and my mom was like, why don't you do fashion designing or like jewelry designing? I was like, no, I'm a science student. I can't like get into something which is so like artsy type. So I want a combination of math or something like that. And then I was just sitting with my dad and, always at my house because I come from a family of architects, civil engineers, builders. We used to always have blueprints lying around all the time on our dining tables. So I decided to start doing architecture, to basically start with architecture. And my father was like surprised. He was like, this is so difficult. And knowing me, who really loves to like just chill and hang out, he was like, how are you going to be so focused all the time? So it just started with that. I did my architecture from University of Toronto, and then after basically COVID happened, and then I flew back to India, and I was not used to sitting at home idle. Like I'm always doing something or the other, and because of the time difference, my classes used to happen overnight, and then all day I had nothing to do. So I started going to my family business office, and which is actually in Kirtinagar, and I started with the residential segment. There are a lot of people in like my chachu, my grandfather, as well as my dad. So there are already 3 people working in the industry. So I wanted to do something that was different from what they were doing. And when I stepped in during COVID, I realized after the pandemic, when things were reopening, people like the restaurants were really run down, and people really wanted to change the furniture. I saw the gap in the market, and I went store to store, both Kirtinagar as well as MG Road, and I saw what everyone is doing, and I decided that I might as well step into the F&B industry, and there's no looking back from that, and it's almost been like 5 years now, and I'm thriving doing this.
You said your dad started this business, and he's been in the industry for quite some time. Was it family pressure that got you into it, or was it something that you sort of, you said you started picking on it initially by going and visiting, or was it like a passion that sort of drove you into it?
I think it was more of like passion, and also the response I was getting from the commercial sector at that time versus like, the residential sector, because post-pandemic people didn't really care about the house furniture because everyone was home taking care of everything, but obviously restaurants were closed. And also I realized that with how the Indian market works, I love to make a prototype and play with volume. Like I love doing volumes more than making one piece and focusing on one piece. I would rather, focus on one piece and then multiply it.
Okay. And tell me something, you're right in the heart of the furniture block, as they call it. I think it's Asia's biggest furniture market, Kirtinagar.
Yeah.
How do you sort of keep things unique, or how has your family, because if they've been existing in the business for so long, what are you doing right to be still there and doing things?
So I feel it's basically the customization that we offer to all customers. We really focus on details because now restaurants is not about durability and functionality. We're focusing more on the ambience per se.
So funny you say that. There was one point where durability and cost was very big. but now restaurants are more into experiential dining. They're more into, the look and feel, the aesthetics. So what has changed over the past few years?
So when I stepped into the industry, which was maybe 2019, 2020, when basically COVID happened and I was back in India, people really focused on durability and cost because, no one knew what was going to happen in the future, if restaurants are going to run or it's going to close. But now, since everything is back to normal, everyone wants to focus on the aesthetics, the experience, how the customer feels once they walk in. So now it's not just about the food, because before a person sees a menu, they basically, look at the vibe, the comfort of the place, the seating arrangement, and how the place has turned out to be. So nowadays, people come in with a vision. There are Pinterest boards, there are thousands of BOQs. One customer is working with 4 different architects, and there's so many partners in most of the chains that I'm doing right now, that there are literally 20 people working towards that experience the customer actually feels and gets to know, and that's where the market is thriving now.
So we've spoken about where the market is right now. What about where do you feel the future of HoReCa or the furniture industry is going in the next 5 to 10 years?
So now people are focusing more on the functionality, because people are they're using a space as a dine-in thing in the morning, and they want to do private events at night. So it's very important that the function of a chair is has more than one face value, because a lot of restaurants in the middle were doing, for example, Asian cuisine in the morning, and they turned into like a Chinese or a Japanese or an Indian fusion kind of a thing. So people are trying to create different experiences throughout the day. So it's important, functionality, also sustainability. I feel people are trying to add a sustainable corner, or try to use make some furniture pieces out of recyclable materials,
or bamboo.
Or bamboo per se, and actually give a different kind of an experience in the restaurant. And also then I feel people are focusing on the tech driven aspect, where all these coffee chains want to have inbuilt chargers. They're basically trying to get the concept of working from a coffee space.
And something that's really come up these days is having an Instagrammable spot in the restaurant. I don't know if it could be a chair or it could be a backlit wall, something that makes you popular on social media. What do you think is the importance of that?
I feel that the Instagrammable corner is one of the it is the vision of the customer, because nowadays social media really picks in specific things. So a lot of restaurants that are opening now are having installations inside. For example, Narma recently just opened up. They have that big maroon flower inside, and everyone wants to go there and get a photo over there. No one cares about the food, no one cares about the ambience. It's that flower that has to go up at 1 a.m. on your Instagram to for people to know that they're here. They don't even tag the location or the place. So that element does tend to feature the restaurant, and people can connect through that particular aspect basically.
Interesting. Is there a concept you very briefly mentioned that there's a cafe in the morning and then turns into a nightclub? I know we've seen a lot of that overseas. I know Toronto has a few of them. When I was in Australia, we had a few spots like that as well. Do you think there's a concept like that is missing in India?
It was missing from the past. Now people, for example, there's a restaurant called No in Delhi. It's in the diplomatic area. So they basically are a restaurant, and they also have a speakeasy inside. So people are trying to come up, because people want more private spaces now. People actually don't want to be in a commercial space. They want to again, as I said, their comfort is non-negotiable. So comfort is extremely important, and then the second thing that comes is that experience and the space or ambience per se.
There is, because you have been exporters as well, and you've worked with many renowned brands, as we've spoken off camera obviously, where do you get more demand from Indian brands, or is it the international brands that you work with?
So I feel like the Indian market is exploding right now. Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, the amount of franchisees that, well-known brands that have been in the industry or have they've picked up in the last 3-4 years, they are, releasing a lot of restaurants basically in tier 2, tier 3 cities. So the expansion mode in India right now is great, but as well as globally as well, like people are expanding. And for us, we are trying to connect with more global brands that are launching in India who have been established because they want a system, because the furniture industry, as you know, it's not really regulated.
Yeah.
And the people who are not basically focusing on the product, it's more like everyone in the industry wants to do residential furniture, but there's very less people who are focusing on the hospitality or the F&B sector.
Yeah.
So nowadays, I just did a project, Vagamama. They're launching 15 outlets this year in India. So I did the first one of it in Bombay, where we did the entire sampling procedure and all of that. So yeah, I'm trying to connect with brands that are coming to India. Also, for example, Papa John's is launching in September. And even Mocha, for example, they were in Gurgaon for really long, even in Delhi. And then, obviously after post-pandemic things changed, so they did have to shut down. So they're as well relaunching again in Connaught Place, and they're coming up with a very nice theme as well. So all these restaurants are trying to upgrade. They are trying to again focus on the experience for the customer.
It's the need of the hour, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So young budding restaurateur who is coming up with his first restaurant, what sort of mistakes do you feel that they're bound to make?
So I feel like because everyone wants to go to an Instagrammable space or an aesthetically pleasing space, so some people do tend to focus on more on the aesthetics than the durability and functionality, and especially with restaurants with the the high number of influx and outflux of customers, it's very important to focus on the durability, and the furniture shouldn't look very big scale on like a small floor plan. So it is important to keep that in aspect.
Speaking about durability and also sustainability, we will quickly marry those two in a second. How do you take that into consideration with ergonomics? How do you work that out?
So we do try. So we have an in-house team that basically focuses on the dimensions, because that is an extremely important aspect. Other than that, whenever we get a BOQ, we do tend to add extra things that increase the strength. So that is we have a specific team that takes care of that. And on the other hand, yeah, we are trying to use bamboo. We are trying to use sustainable materials. We are trying to procure recyclable items so that the place stands out as well. But we're trying to do a corner. We're not basically making the entire restaurant just focusing on that. So yeah, we are trying to add different aspects. We are trying to meet the demand of the customer basically.
Is there a particular project that you may have done which sort of encapsulates Sunny Overseas design philosophy?
I don't think it's going to be fair to name a specific project. I feel like all the projects that I've been doing over time, and with the brands I've been working with and the architects I've been working with, the concepts, the themes, they're unmatchable. So it's like there are n number of projects that I can name. I've been recently working a lot with the Hazelnut Factory. So I'm doing their Varanasi outlet, which is opening up soon, and they're also doing they've basically picked a 300-old restoration building. So there are people. I just did Bowery in Goa, Sanctuary in Goa. So these people are basically focusing more on the theme, the concept. So yeah, I love to do projects that I can give my own feedback and tell people what they could do.
What is your unique edge of Sunny Overseas and Chaitali? How do you actually treat clients? Because restaurant is a very blanket term. You have from cloud kitchens to concept kitchens to Michelin star fine dining restaurants, and you've done projects for all of them. Tell me, what is your thought process? How do you deal with customers? What is the process you follow when you're catering to different demands?
So my first thing is to understand the customer's need and demand. And then for customers that are stepping into the industry, they are first time hoteliers or restaurateurs, I love working with those people, because those people are so new to the industry, and I just want to tell them that let's just focus on the durability and the functionality rather than the aesthetic outlook. We will do a segment of it in the entire restaurant or the concept, but we're not going to make it just aesthetic. So with those people, I try to offer my own advice and just work with them closely so they are comfortable throughout the process, because it's a very overwhelming,
I can imagine,
and a task consuming. It just takes so long to open a restaurant. There's so many things that happen in the middle that you don't even realize.
So who wins? Is it you usually who has durability and functionality into picture, or aesthetics?
I try to balance both because I can't, disregard the architect and the designer, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I keep telling the customer, let's focus on the durability. And with people who have been in the industry since very long, like almost 10-15 years, with those people, I just focus on, what the architect wants and what the customer wants. Like whatever their vision is, I just try to bring it to life.
Fair. I'm going to do a quick rapid fire with you before I let you go. So if a restaurant owner could only splurge on one piece of furniture, what should it be?
I think it's the chair because
Okay.
that's the first thing they sit on.
Yeah.
Comfort is non-negotiable.
So is it the shape of the chair, the foam, the fabric?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything.
One innovation you wish all restaurants would adopt?
Maybe playing with different material.
Okay.
Like people love playing safe. They just
Yeah.
want to do one fabric throughout the restaurant, and
Yeah.
I'm anti that.
Okay.
I'm like, no, let's create magic. Let's do different things.
One outdated habit in the restaurant furniture you wish would retire?
Oh, they just love doing the same thing. Like cane furniture is back all the time, and I'm just like, no, let's play with metal CNC. Let's use this material, that material. But they just want to use the cane and just be like, wow, our restaurant's looking aesthetically pleasing.
Thank you, Chaitali, for coming and doing this with me. It's a very quick podcast, but for those who haven't visited your experience center in Kirti Nagar, it actually stands out because you've been in the industry for quite some time now. The legacy that you have at the back of your brand, but also the efforts that you guys put into the furniture is actually remarkable. There are a lot of brands that you've been associated with, so it just is a testament to a fact that you just don't say what you're saying, you've actually delivered as well. That's why the brands keep coming back to you. Thank you very much for giving a quick rundown as to where the industry is heading, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me over here. It was actually a lot of fun doing this.
Cheers.